And we're back to another episode of the Creative Spin podcast. Anna, thank you so much for being present here.
My pleasure.
At another episode.
My pleasure.
Of course
I'm a very patient woman.
Yes, you are. Yes. I mean, if people were doubting the fact that you were a patient woman, well, here's the proof.
There you go.
So how have you been, Anna?
Awesome. I love this weather. I love summer, so that puts
me
in
my
good
God.
spirits.
You love this weather. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I rather have hot weather than having the minus 30 degree
don't even mention
weather
that.
with snow and all that kind
of.
Nope.
Do not mention those words.
Nope. You can't say that word.
Season
Can't say that
white
word.
Stuff.
But yeah, we've been getting some pretty hot weeks
it.
here in Toronto, Canada. Which isn't very common. I mean, we usually get them, but
I don't think we get so many heat warnings like we've had day after day after
which
day.
is okay.
I don't
We're
recall
good.
that. Oh my gosh, keep them until Christmas.
Yeah. Well, dream on. That's not gonna happen.
No kidding.
So we're back at it. We're showing people that we're back. I think the old hiatus of, hiding a little bit behind excuses, it's overdue. I mean, we can't be doing that all the time, so we decided to come back. So last week, what did we talk about in the last show? I can't even remember anymore. Jesus Christ, my brain.
Something about being genuine, the way you talk.
Yes, the fake inspirational people
there you go.
and all that. Yes,
that was
of course. Whew, this is what happens when you get to this age, boys and girls. Wait for it, because if you're not there, you'll know what I mean.
You can count on me
when you get there.
To remind you.
Yeah. Okay,
Even
that's fine.
Even though I'm older.
So
the old lady kicking in.
Oh my God, is she ever going to shut it up? I'm not sure. All right, so today's topic. I actually gave you a heads up on this one. We were actually talking about it. I mean,
thank you.
On the last episode, I was bragging about the fact that we never plan anything, and then sure enough, next one I plan stuff. That's how I am. Unpredictability is my middle name.
For sure.
So on this one, it's funny how this topic came to be, right? So this is what happened. Essentially, I got nominated for one of these challenges on Facebook. And essentially the nomination means that, if you want to partake in this challenge, you'll have to do 25 push-ups for 25 days. Which I said, you know what, that's good. You know me, I'm always trying to get in shape and to be in shape and to stay in shape. And I jumped at it and I said, of course I will. But this challenge actually came with an awareness as well, and that's what I wanted to talk about here on this show, because I felt like, I've seen a lot of these challenges and a lot of these contests or whatever you want to call them going around social medias, and I never really thought much about it. I mean, we had the bucket challenge, the ice bucket challenge a few years ago. That was extremely good, important too, and now there's this one here, and I think it's going to create a lot of awareness as well. And I'm so much I honestly think that this was such a good idea. Whoever came up with these challenges, the good ones.
Yes.
I've seen some pretty good excuses of challenges. There was one going around about you have to drink some shots of whatever, and listen, it's got its
for sure. It's just not for me.
It's got its points. I don't know if it's as important as these ones. And I want to focus on these ones, which I think are more important points that we should look at as a society. I think it's important to create this awareness. And I think that this challenge is actually doing that. It's creating that awareness, and it's great. It's to create awareness for depression, anxiety, and mental health.
That is very important.
It is something that I think it affects everyone at any given point in their lives, or someone that you love. This is not a joke. This is a something that is very serious and that should be taken serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And basically that's what I want to talk to you about and kind of go through some opinions and some statistics and some things that we found online. And again, I mean, this is just two people having a conversation. We're not in any way, shape, or form doctors or anybody that understands
or experts in the
or
field,
experts that understand this at 100% or not even 80% probably, or 50 or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that whatever we say is just our opinion. And again, what we're trying to do is also create some awareness, which is what this challenge did to me. You know, when I said
talk about it, let people know about it.
And hopefully people will try to dig in a little bit more, try to research some more information, which was what we did after I said yes to this challenge. Now let's not even talk about the second part of the challenge, which is the actual push-ups. Listen,
I can't even do one. Never mind 25.
When I read 25 push-ups,
Yeah,
not a problem. Yeah, it became a problem. Very soon I figured out that was a problem. But it's okay. You know what? Every day I'm trying my best and I'm doing the 25. And hopefully by the 25th day, I'll be okay with it. But for now, let's just hit that intro and we'll come back to talk a little bit more about this subject. Okay, so we're back. Stop looking at the phone.
I'm not looking at the phone.
Yes, you were. You were looking at the phone.
Okay, now I am looking at the phone.
You can tell this happens a lot in our show. And you know, there should be a law. Keep your phone away from the podcast. But
you're the one telling me to have technology around me when we're doing the podcast.
Oh, now you're changing this around.
I'm not.
And make. Oh my God.
True.
Let's talk about the topic here.
Yeah, no
we don't want to. We don't want to get too deep into what happens in this household every single day. I don't think people want to know that. Okay, so just a little quick recap. Push-ups for mental health challenges. Basically, we've got this topic going here on the Creative Spin podcast. I still haven't nominated you.
And don't, because you know I can't even do one.
But I don't need to, because through me you've become aware of the situation.
And I mean, I might change it. I mean, if this was like a 25, what do you call those things? Jumping jacks. Okay, I would do it. You see, push-ups. I'm
that's
working
not
on
much.
it.
See, the word challenge.
Oh no, they're challenging too.
For a reason.
Me?
Come on, 25 jumping jacks. Come on. I'm telling you, the things I have to. No, I'm not in shape. I just said I'm not in shape.
I'll do 2 hours of Zumba for that. How's that? That I'll do.
Okay, you do your thing. I do my thing.
I should talk to my Zumba teacher, see if she wants to.
You know what? I'll nominate her and let's see what happens. How's that?
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. By the time this podcast comes out, I probably already nominated her. So haha, joke's on you.
No, it was in all seriousness. No. I can't, as you know, I cannot. I'm working though. I'm working out. I'm trying.
I know you are, and that's the important part. Is trying.
Because and I'm not joking. I do love Zumba. It is my favorite workout. I can actually do it for many hours. I'll complain while I'm doing it because it's really hard, especially the high impact one I do. But it keeps me going. I love music. I love dancing. It honestly, it's the best.
You know what I say when it comes to working out or doing any type of workout for that matter. I say, do what you are comfortable doing. Yeah. It doesn't matter just because people lift weights or people do whatever they do. You do you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And if that's what makes you happy, then do that until
But it does make me sad not being able to do one single push-up. Because as you know, I can't. I don't know why.
You would do one push-up for 25 days, meaning you would get the 25 push-ups on the 25 days.
Can't. So I've decided that I'm going to work on that side of the workout.
You'll get it. Don't worry about it. So now moving on to the topic here. And this is, I mean, we don't want to make light of the situation. We don't want to be joking about this situation. It's a very serious situation. And and I think, the more I read about it, which is interesting, you go from when you start typing it into Google and, anything to do with mental health.
There's tons of information.
Yeah, there's so much information. And that is a good thing. And it can also be a bad thing because sometimes it can be confusing if you're not going to the right places and you don't know yet if you're going into the right places or not. But because it's such a serious topic, I don't find that there's too much misinformation. I think there's a lot of repeated information, and that kind of tells you that it might be, they might be on the right points there. But the more I read, and it's so, at the same time, when it comes to, looking at this from a scientific perspective, it's interesting to see how, anxiety and depression and then the mental health part, how connected every single thing is to one another. And you talk about all of these things and you think, oh, it's more of a mental issue, but it's amazing how much it affects you on a physical side as well. Yeah. And how much it can affect not only you, but everybody around you, right?
I agree.
And one of the things that kind of jumped at us when we were researching was the fact that most people don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. You found some statistics there. I believe it was like 40 in 5 people don't.
Yeah, one in 5 people experience some sort of mental health problem. 49% of those who actually have some type of mental health problem never talk about or have never seen a doctor. So that's half of the population that has been identified with a mental health issue. Half of that group has never spoken about it or spoken to a professional about it.
Yeah.
And that's 49%. That's
a pretty big number.
That's a big number.
And this is where
that's in Canada, sorry.
Yeah. And that's where, all of these initiatives of these crazy challenges online, or even the bigger campaigns that we hear here in Canada. We have the Bell campaign that goes off every year to talk about mental health and all of that, and it helps. And I think the biggest or the most important thing that we should all do as a society is keep an open eye. Right, there are a lot of symptoms in depression or anxiety or any of these problems that a person might be showing that we might not be noticing.
We might be overlooking,
Right? They might be right in front of us and we might not be noticing. I mean, we've seen throughout all these years, we've seen artists and actors and singers and all of these people that end up having huge problems, but then you're like, oh my God, I didn't know, I had no idea.
For me, the shocker was Robin Williams.
I was actually thinking about him.
As you know, I am still a huge fan of his, and I actually just bought the book that I want to read, Robin. That to me was an eye opener because
the guy
he made you laugh every single day, every single second of the day.
He was the poster boy of a happy man, right?
He was,
a joker,
exactly.
Right?
And to me, I think that's when I actually seriously began thinking about the issue. And I stopped to think about, we talk about so much about cancer and how everyone knows someone that has had cancer, whatever. And then I thought, maybe this is another very serious issue. The thing is that and I began reading about the stigma around it, and
that's the thing, right? I mean, the when you say that 49% of the population here in Canada don't talk about it,
that has a mental, that has suffered the mental depression, whatever,
that is the biggest problem because now we're dealing with people that are just not talking about it and keeping it to themselves, and it's hard. It's hard to see, right? When we were saying we need to be paying attention, and we should be paying more attention to people around us, to see the symptoms of, sometimes people, when they're caught off guard, you'll notice that they're they're tired, and they're always complaining that they're I have an upset stomach, or like these are all little
like
things.
Sometimes very small things.
Very small things.
Look at someone's eyes.
the
Sometimes they
eyes,
reveal something too.
They reveal a lot.
And it was interesting because I read that after Robin Williams' passing, and I forget who it was, but mentioned that if you actually in the later years, if you looked at his eyes, they were always sad.
Yeah.
And I began taking, I actually did that, right? And I said, well, there you go. These are the small, subtle things that sometimes we overlook. Maybe we do see them, but it's just.
Yeah, we're so busy with
everything. Brush them aside. I don't know what we do, right?
I think we're just so busy, and let's face it, as a society, we're a little bit self-centered, and I'm being nice here.
Yeah.
I think we're all a little bit self-centered, and it's all about us. Mm-hmm. It's all about what we have to do today, and where we have to go today, and sometimes we'll just say, hey, how's it going, to the neighbor, and not even stop for 2 seconds to say, how's it going? And then a follow-up question. And then, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of lack on that aspect of, trying to speak more to people. I think communication is one of the most important parts of this whole equation, to try to actually find out, like, people don't want to talk. Is it because nobody's talking to them too? You know what I mean? It's like, are
we going to do we judge without knowing that we are judging? Like, I'm always afraid of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm always afraid that I may be passing the wrong signal to the person. And I know I'm very serious.
I know what you're saying.
Right?
It can be a difficult situation to be in, right?
Like, I'm, as you know, I smile. I'm a natural smiler. I like smiling. And a lot of times I wonder, do people think I'm just smiling because I don't get stuff, or that I'm always happy and they don't want to bother me? I'm always wondering about
just
that,
never
right?
know,
because
right?
it's my natural way of being. I'll say hi and smile. That doesn't mean I try to be happy. But that doesn't mean we don't have moments in our life that we go down, because we all do.
Every single human being is going to go down, no matter how happy they seem on Instagram.
They started with that one.
There's an issue with everybody, and
actually, there are a lot of studies connecting the rise of depression to Instagram and social media and whatever, like the beautiful pictures, right? The happy moments.
Think about it. If you're not feeling good about yourself, and then all of a sudden
you're bombarded with all these happy moments.
Exactly. You're just going through all of these accounts that have all these perfect lives there. It could be, it can put you down and make you feel bad. And I guess with all of this stuff, I mean, what we wanted to come out and do this podcast is really to bring a little bit more awareness, right? I mean, if everyone that has some sort of channel, platform, some way to reach more people other than just the people that we connect with on a day-to-day basis, if we all do our little part, then you know what, it could go a long way.
And actually, it's interesting that you're saying that, because May is the national awareness, the month for mental health awareness. But don't just do it in May.
Yeah.
Take it beyond. There's 12 months of the year. Do a little bit every day.
Yeah, people don't choose a month to have an issue.
Don't do just 25 push-ups and then forget about it.
Yeah.
Try to, again, I won't be able to do the 25 push-ups, but I'll do Zumba, I'll do whatever. And this is what I'm trying to say. And maybe I will be able to do 25 push-ups sometime,
But listen, the initiative is actually pretty good, because one of the things that is seen as helping you with anxiety and depression and mental health and all of that is actually exercising.
Yeah.
Any type of exercising. I mean, they say anything from, going to the gym or going for walks, practicing yoga is another good one. Even breathing. Dancing, but even breathing, it was interesting to read that one on one of the articles I was going through. Sitting down for 15 minutes and just concentrating in your breathing. And it's funny, we have a breathing app on our...
I was going to say, this guy reminds me that I need to breathe, and it actually makes a difference. You
know what? It makes a difference because it helps you concentrate on just one thing. And it's basically it's like a little mini yoga session or meditation session, right?
And it's good
and it helps.
Your mind.
But the whole exercising thing, I'll be honest, and this, you've witnessed this quite a bit. The weeks that I might not, for some reason, whatever it may be, if it's work or health related or whatever, I don't work out, I am so grumpy.
Oh, you are the grumpiest. And
Oh, man.
yeah, you've got that mug over there with grumpy. And yeah, that's when, yeah. You've always been that way. But it's interesting because for you, you are very grumpy when you don't work out.
Okay, we've established that I get very grumpy.
But I also want to say that you start feeling muscle pain, or you feel like you're not 100%.
Listen, that's just bad genetics, right? And
it doesn't matter. There you go. But you feel better. And I notice it once you do, and sometimes you do one of those crazy workouts, and I'm like, what the heck is he doing?
Listen,
and you come out of it smiling.
It is. It's true. And I was actually supposed to do a workout now as we are recording this, and it completely slipped my mind. But it's
I
way
reminded
too late.
you see.
I'm still going to go for a bike ride or something like that. So, but it's so true for me in my case, like in particular, I feel like every single time I do a workout, even if it's something quick, like grabbing the bike and going around the block, I feel for some reason, I just feel much better afterwards.
For me, it's walking. As you know, I love walking. And you do.
So, I mean, and here we go. Yeah. It's if there's anybody that is listening to us or watching us right now that is, kind of in that down moment, go for a walk.
Yeah.
If you have a dog or a pet, I don't know if you want to walk your cat or your.
They were walking a pig today in downtown Toronto, but that's for another podcast.
That's definitely another podcast. But, just go out for a walk. Yeah. Start small. I think a lot of people also get into these big goals. They set goals that are way too high.
Yeah.
And then because you can't reach them or you can't follow through with them, and then they stop, and that's where the biggest problem is. I think it's like working out. When people go into the gym for the first day after years of being at home, and then they want to try every single machine in the gym or do every single part of.
And I think your worst enemy is wanting to see results right away.
And then you want to see, but that's the point, right?
So you try everything.
You try everything because you want to see results, and then you're gonna feel like really bad the next day, and then you're gonna stop and you're gonna quit. And I think this is a good example. If you're suffering from anxiety or depression, I think the first step is to talk, right? Find that person that you want to talk to, or talk to your doctor. I mean, your doctor should be one of the first people that you go to, and you just say, listen, I'm having a little bit of a problem. And some, how doctors sometimes, hey doctors, how's it going? They just say, oh, you know what, just try to eat well and go for a walk and don't think too much about it. And they might brush it off a little bit. And I get why, because sometimes a lot of people have this tendency of overreacting stuff, and they need to be that way, right? But there are also there's also doctors that will listen, that will pay attention, and listen. If you by any chance have one of those doctors that don't listen to you, well, find a new one, and then move on to the next person.
But there's also that other side of the person that may not want to talk about, and this is where we come in as a society. Paying attention and saying something, right? Like, how do you get that person to? Because I personally know someone who was quite depressed and sometimes still has, especially in the winter. And I suffer a little bit from the seasonal depression too.
Winters are crazy.
I hate it, but. Anyways, and the moment you begin to suggest that that this person might be a little depressed. Oh my God! No, I'm not. And then there's
the denial side,
right? So how do you go about helping someone like that? Is also.
But I think it also has to do with the fact that as humans, we always try to deny that we have an issue. Yeah. I think that it's just part of what makes us human, right? Yeah. We don't want to feel like we're below
which
whatever
is that
the standard
stigma
is,
that
right?
I was reading about. Actually, if you're interested, the Canadian Mental Health Association, that's what I was getting all of this information
What's
from.
What's the website?
So it's cmha.ca.
There's a ton of information on that.
Yeah. So, and I forget where I was going with this.
This is called old age. It has nothing to do with depression. It's just old age. You start forgetting stuff.
Please.
It just, it's a good thing she forgets about stuff. Because,
you remind me. Where was I?
When I see, I can't remember. As I was saying, it's good that she forgets stuff because then if I do something wrong, she will forget. No, she won't. She never forgets. What was it? She know what? Okay, why is it that you never forget stuff that I do, and then you always forget others?
No. There's a difference. Okay? So sometimes, as you are going, see, I was interrupted by you asking me
how it's my fault.
The website, and I lost my train of thought, but it'll come back. There is a difference between that and certain things that happen. Scorpios are known to retain information, and I'm one of them.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. We only have a few more minutes to go, but I'll backtrack. I said, let's go check the website. I said that there's good information on the website. And then you jumped and said that, yes, okay, nope, it's not coming back to her. So we're going to continue with this podcast because she does not know where we're in the studio. You know where we are right now? Jeez, this one was a heavy one. It's okay. I got you.
Not saying anything.
It's a podcast. You have to talk. I mean, what? I don't get this.
Oh my!
All right, gosh. I guess this is about it.
I do remember what I was.
Of course she does. Once I start talking, she interrupts me. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say that hand in hand with that comes the importance of eating healthy.
Okay.
That's what I was going with that. And I, a lot of times people set these goals because we were talking about people wanting to be fit, and I think the message needs to be you need to feel great.
Yeah.
You know, like, for example, I have a metabolism that is awful, as you know. I'm not going to crucify myself just because my metabolism does not want to cooperate with me, right? I feel great, though. Do I want to be fit and healthy? Yes, that's why I do Zumba. That's why we try to eat healthy all the time. And I do make an effort to make very healthy meals, right?
Actually, one of the big things that helps with all of this anxiety and depression is really the dieting and making sure that you're eating properly, and that you're not just filling yourself with junk food because that won't feel good in any way. Because
just gives you calories, and then
your health is going to go down, and everything's going to go down. So you don't want to do that. Anyways, guys. One of the main ideas of this podcast is really if you feel like you're in any one of these areas, if you're feeling anxiety or if you feel depressed, talk to someone.
Try to talk.
Yeah, try to talk to someone. I mean, find someone. There's always someone. I know it's it's hard. Not everybody has the same lifestyle, the same neighborhood, the same people, coworkers, and all that. But there's always someone.
Yeah, and you know what? We all go through it. As I said, for me, that
you don't want to let it build
season
up.
Is for me. I have seasonal depression, as you know. Yeah. Winter for me does that.
We need the sun.
So, oh man.
And speaking of the sun, I guess we're done with this one. So we're gonna go outside to the what is it today? 42 degrees
Feels
Celsius.
Like 40. I love it.
Or 40.
Well, it's 37 or 36, and it feels like 40.
Okay, so yesterday we hit the 42. It's pretty damn hot. But I'm not complaining. It's good. It's good. We need the sun. We're gonna go out for a walk and just walk it off.
Yeah.
Tough it up. Mm-hmm. Get that sun in there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of this creative spin podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching, I feel like I'm recording right now. Notice the younger kids, how they go, you got to hit that subscribe button.
They threaten you,
or in 3 seconds, or else.
Like your life goes down the drain or something.
Or else what, kid?
I like the threats.
Anyways, we're watching our kid watching young YouTubers, and I guess that's where it comes from.
It's hilarious, though.
For us is, if you like it, hit it. If you don't. We're still going to keep on doing it. So thank you for being here, Anna.
My pleasure.
I appreciate your company.
I'll try to not forget anything next time.
All right. That sounds great. Okay. Guys, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Will do.